Hey y'all, my name is Elizabeth Ewan and welcome to my channel. As always, my focus is on writing worlds, dreaming big, and making every day magical. Today, I'm going to be taking you guys to Carowinds. Spring is here and that means that Carowinds is finally open for the season. So if that's something that you're interested in, then just keep watching. Before heading out for a very magical amusement park day, I had a few things to check off of my to-do list. First up, some quick cleaning to start the day fresh. As you guys know, I always take about an hour or so just to wash up, to clean the dishes, to wipe down the counters, to get a load of laundry going, just to set the tone in my house for the day. It's also one of those things where when I come home after spending a lovely day outside with my family, it's always just so nice to come home to a very clean home. That way I'm not stressing when it's like 7 or 8 p.m. at night after coming back from the amusement park and having such a great time. It's one less stressor in my life. And that's one of my tips also for amusement parks, right? Is arrive later in the afternoon, around 4 p.m. or so. Don't plan an entire day at the amusement park. Going to Carowinds all day, especially when you have little ones, can be very hectic and very exhausting for everyone. And the whole point of going to Carowinds is to just have a great time. So that's one of my main tips, is arrive later in the afternoon around 4 p.m. or so, because by then a lot of the early crowd that went earlier in the day is heading out. So wait times are usually way better. And speaking of lines, you always want to just pick a couple of rides you really want to go on instead of trying to do everything all at once. Right now, because of spring break, Carowinds is packed. It just opened last weekend, so save the big rides for later in the season when things quiet down a bit. And unless you're ready to wait, I recommend skipping Boo Blasters for now. That line can get pretty long. With the house in order, I got my crockpot stuffed peppers going. It's one of my favorite easy meals to come home to after a long day. And that's another tip that I have, is make a meal ahead of time or have something cooking in the slow cooker during your time at the amusement park. That way you have food ready for when you come back home. And especially if you have little ones like I do, it's nice to just not have to come home after spending a day of riding rides and just being out in the sun having to cook. So that kind of eliminates that entirely, and that makes things so much easier in general. So just make sure that you go ahead and cook a meal either before or again in a slow cooker, and that will make things so much smoother for your amusement park day. Of course, there's always the option to eat in Carowinds. I know that there's a couple of really good restaurants in the amusement park itself. There's also a Starbucks right at the entrance, so if you need like a quick pick-me-up, that definitely helps. There's also the opportunity for you to bring snacks into the amusement park. And that's something that we do, especially again with little ones. You're going to want to have something to munch on, especially if you're standing in a longer line with a little one that might need something to distract them from the fact that they're just standing around waiting for something to happen. And that's a big tip of mine, is just pack some food, pack some light food that you can bring into the amusement park and just munch on while you're there. That way, when you're coming home as well, you're not completely famished and you're not ravenous. Instead, you are pretty set to just come home and have a nice, relaxed dinner. Then it was time to map out my day using my daily grind planner, because you know I love a good plan. The daily grind planner has been my go-to for the past 2 years, and it's the only planner I've ever used cover to cover. Every single day, I write down my top 10 goals, keeping them front and center so I never lose sight of what I'm working toward. Instead of planning first thing in the morning, I actually prefer to sit down in the middle of the day. By then, I can check off what I've already accomplished from my goals, which gives me that extra boost of motivation to power through the rest of my day. It's a very simple but effective way to track progress and stay on top of what matters most. The best part is that it only takes about 10 minutes to fill out, yet it's been the absolute best key to helping me accomplish so many of my goals. Whether it's writing, content creation, or personal growth, having that daily check-in keeps me accountable and focused. Since I always list out my top 10 goals, I made sure to include things like spending quality time with my family, making the most of our trip without feeling rushed, and capturing fun moments for content. Then I squeezed in a bit of writing. As you guys know, I've been working on my Queen of Fist fanfiction, and I'm going to update you guys on that in a little bit. But then I took Scout to the dog park to burn off some energy before our main event, Carowinds. And just like that, we were off to Carowinds. The spring air, the excitement in the park, is the perfect day to be there. Our first stop, Camp Snoopy. The toddler-friendly area was just what we needed for a fun family adventure. They're adding on 2 exciting new additions to Camp Snoopy, Snoopy's Racing Railway and Charlie Brown's River Raft Blast. Snoopy's Racing Railway will be a brand new roller coaster designed for families to ride together. It's perfect for little thrill seekers ready for their first coaster experience. And Charlie Brown's River Raft Blast? It's a water ride with a fun twist. Each raft will have a mounted water blaster so riders can spray fellow boaters and guests along the shore. But fair warning, they can spray you back. It's going to be the perfect way to cool off on those warm spring and summer days, and I just cannot wait to check them out later this season. After getting to Camp Snoopy, we hopped on the camp bus. It's a cute little ride, perfect for tiny toddlers. This was the first time my son could see out of the window, so it spooked him a little looking out as we went up and down, but he did great overall, and I'm really proud of him. After riding the camp bus, we made our way to the classic carousel, one of my personal favorites to ride with my little one. There's just something so nostalgic and magical about the gentle rise and fall of the horses, the cheerful music, and the golden lights twinkling above. One of the best parts is that the line is usually short, which means we can hop right back on for another ride without much of a wait. All in all, we had a very magical day at Carowinds. So that's all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Bye, y'all.